Tonight, I execute 2 sleeping soldiers, I knife a watermelon, and I watch a nuclear explosion. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be getting the Platinum trophy for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. There is 51 trophies required for this Platinum. The bulk of the trophies are earned by completing each mission on veteran difficulty, as well as doing various challenges in each mission. And finally, my favorite collectibles. I fucking hate collectibles. As always, if you enjoy the video, leave a like, comment what games you want to see next, and subscribe. So we begin our journey as the newest member of the SAS called John Soap McTavish, and we are listening to our new friends Gaz and Price talking about another world war with Russia involved. Oh, and also 15,000 nukes, so nothing to worry about. So in typical Call of Duty fashion, the first mission is always the tutorial, and somehow a member of this SAS needs to relearn how to fire his weapon, but whatever. So after showing off just how strong the aim assist is in this game, we move on to knifing a watermelon, because what happens in the SAS stays in the SAS.
Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers!
But after that intense training, I then move on to meet the man, the myth, the legend Captain John Price, and the first thing he does is call me a Muppet so brilliant. But I then have to run the cargo ship course, and after a shaky first attempt, after 1 or 2 more tries, I manage a respectable 18.9, which gets me a trophy, the first trophy of the video, for beating the course in under 19 seconds. I also get another trophy for completing the mission FNG. We then get a quick mission briefing, talking about the cargo ship we plan to assault, and once that's done, we begin. As you can see, Price is just oozing in aura right now, smoking a cigar before a mission like it's just another day at the office. We then get to work and rappel down and quickly kill these 3 guards, before pushing down and I kill this drunk and also his 2 mates who are having a wee nap. Me and the gang then make our way across the deck, taking out a few more enemies before we are spotted, but our chopper support helps us clear them out quickly. We then breach the ship and fight our way down to the lower decks, taking out several more guards and also stealing some intel. I then pushed into the room of death as I died here more times than I would care to admit, but it was worth it, as I got another trophy for getting 5 kills with the Desert Eagle. After this, we then pushed forward and killed the remaining guards, and then we stole the cargo ship's manifest listing all items on board. But as me and the lads are leaving enemy fighters shoot at the ship, and this knocks us all on our asses. But this just gives Price another chance to belt out our iconic line.
We're on our way out! On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
And leaving we are, as we have to sprint our way topside before the ship goes down. Once at the top, we have to jump to the chopper, and obviously I make a right tit of myself and fuck it up. But Price is there to save the day as usual. Cheers, mate. We then leave while the ship goes down. This gets us 2 trophies, the first one for completing the mission, and the second for completing the mission on veteran difficulty. This next mission is a blast. All I do is get my ass dragged into a car, and then beaten. So this is President Al-Fulani I'm playing as, and these 2 guys are Russian bad guy, Imran Zakayev, and Middle East bad guy Al-Assad. So yeah, I just got shot on live television. Back playing as Soap now, and me, Price and Gaz are heading into Russia to save an informant of ours known as Nikolai. No, not the drunk one from Black Ops Relax. So the trio behind enemy lines start to move our way towards some Russians who are on our side for once. So after a short jog, we manage to link up with our Russian friend Kamarov, who seems to be mainly worried with us helping him instead of helping our friend. But okay. So we head into the village to help the good Russians, and we do this by providing sniper support on the village below, while the good Russians push into the village. But we then push up ourselves and engage the enemy, and like any man who played Call of Duty back in the day, I switch to the trusty noob tube and start collecting some easy kills. Once that's cleared, we provide some more cover to the men pushing into the village below. Gaz then loses his mind at Kamarov, because he won't tell us where Nikolai is, so he takes matters into his own hands literally.
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Fucking kill him!
So the trio rappel down the wall and begin to advance into the compound in search of Nikolai. I then push into a house, and there is few enemies here because of the sniping we done earlier. So after taking out these few guards, we are free to push up towards the house. Once outside the house, Gaz cuts the power to the house, allowing me and Price to sweep through the building with relative ease.
I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
After getting a few easy headshots here, I get a trophy for getting 4 headshot kills in a row. We then find Nikolai still alive, so we quickly exfil out the back of the house, and it's here where Nikolai says the Americans will never take Al-Assad alive. This then gets us another 2 trophies, the first for completing the mission and the second for beating it on veteran difficulty. We then jump to the American part of this story as Sergeant Paul Jackson. And obviously the intro is the most American thing ever. You'll find that the SAS in this game are smart and precise, and the Marines are pure brute force, which is quite fun to constantly change mission styles. So we then rappel out of the chopper and begin moving to the first target building as we look for Al-Assad. We then breach the building the good old-fashioned way and head downstairs where we eliminate a few stragglers. I then decide to clear a room out with an RPG, because if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Back up top. However, we find that it's a battlefield full of alleyways and choke points with gunfire coming from all sides. I then push forward and take out an enemy before spawn trapping a few, and right after that's done I get a massive dose of PTSD as I watch a fellow Marine get gunned down. RIP, mate. So I then decide to avenge my fallen friend and push forward more and get myself a nice couple of kills on people not even facing me. I push even further up to the crossroads of death and find myself obliterated by a maniac with a machine gun on the back of a truck. But I eventually clear that out and end up killing a teammate, but also the enemy. Because I am American after all, some friendly fire is bound to happen. Any Americans watching this, you can stop your comments now. It's only a joke. We then are able to push into the radio station where Al-Assad apparently is. You know, when you play veteran difficulty, there's always that one part of a mission where you die. Well, this is it for me right here. I died so many fucking times.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
But I did get another trophy here for finishing a downed enemy with a knife, so it's all good. I finally managed to get through that part though, just to run into room of death number 2, and instantly died. So I died a few more times here before I decided to camp this room and head glitch my way to success. So me and the gang finally cleared the room and headed upstairs. We then breached a room and headed inside to find nothing but a few TVs playing Al-Assad's speech. But I did get a trophy for finishing the mission, so it's all good. Second mission in a row here is the Yanks, and we are to get to and protect a tank. I mean, surely it can protect itself, but whatever. So I start this mission off with a good old noob tube through the windows to help cover my squad. We then use night vision and push into the building, killing what few enemies are on the bottom floor. I then get a trophy for killing this enemy and saving Private Royswich. I then use the mounted LMG to finish off what's left of the enemy on the top floor. We then begin pushing our way towards the tank, but encounter the enemy, and after a very close call, I manage to get to the roof and pick off a few on the bridge. But we then have enemy tanks on the bridge, so I have to grab the javelin launcher and get back to the roof to take them all out. I then proceed to take out all 4 tanks. This gets me a trophy for destroying all 4 tanks on the bridge. We then push through the market towards the tank, and it's here where we see the tank, and remaining Marines are completely surrounded. So I start to pick off some enemies with a lot of hard scoping. This tank really is some great cover. But once out of ammo is Witch back to the noob tube for a few more kills. But we then have to push up and take out an anti-air gun to allow air support. Here I get another trophy for killing 20 enemies, with explosions in a single level tanks to the grenade launcher. I then find the anti-air gun and spray down the remaining enemies there, before I plant a C4 charge and destroy the gun, allowing us to call in air support. We then are taking fire from a group of enemies hiding in a nearby building, but we are Americans, so instead of clearing it out, we just level the building. We then go over a plan with Vasquez and Griggs before the mission ends. This gets us another trophy for finishing the mission. We then jump back to playing as Soap with the SAS, and we are quickly thrown into the deep end as our chopper is hit with a missile. I'm sure we will be fine. Of course, we wake up to Price being completely fine and telling us to get on our feet again. This old man really is built different, honestly.
We need to get moving before the search parties get here.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So me and the lads are stuck behind enemy lines, in the middle of Russia with a civil war going on. Sounds fun. While trying to find our way to another exfil, we come across a farmer being interrogated by the bad Russians, so we quickly take care of them. This gets us a trophy for saving the farmer. We then have to hide from an enemy chopper. I mean, they definitely heard those gunshots. We should get moving before we are found. Not even 20 seconds later, we are found and are being attacked from behind. And with little cover around, we are forced to defend the area while Gaz gets the cellar door opened. Once inside the house, I start to clear the upstairs, and it's here where I die, but also get a trophy for killing an enemy while flashed, so I'll take it. Once outside the house, we are attacked again, but this time by dogs, and I get another trophy for surviving a dog attack. I then have another close call killing the last few enemies in this area, and once that's done, we move on avoiding enemy patrols and choppers. We then get to an open field, and it's here where there is no way to sneak past, so we open fire. After a brief gunfight, I decide to sprint forward, taking out another few enemies and try to get to better cover. I then decide to do the age-old tradition of spray and pray, killing a few more and clearing out this small section. This next part, however, I died a fucking ton of times because the Russians have a chopper, and inside the chopper is a man with the craziest aim bot ever. So after dying a few times, I started to shoot him out of the chopper, which is great problem solved. That is until his friend takes his place, and he also have aimbot, so once you kill one, you have about 10 seconds to push up and get into cover before another one starts shooting you. This is hard to do when the men on the ground are also shooting at you. Whatever developer came up with this idea, I hope that both sides of your pillow are always warm.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
I was genuinely stuck here for a good 10 or so minutes, but finally, I managed to push into the barn, kill a few troops, and find the Stinger missiles and shoot that hacking twat out of the sky.
Bloody nice shooting this, son.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
After that ordeal, we push up to a checkpoint and decide to let our friends in the AC-130 deal with these enemies. This completes the first part of this mission. The second part is me controlling the AC-130 and covering the ground team. So this goes brilliant as I just shoot enemies who can't kill me for once, and this gets me a trophy for killing 5 or more enemies with a single shot with the AC-130. So yeah, I then cover the team as the exfil out of Russia, and this gets us another 2 trophies. The first for completing the mission, and the second for beating both Hunted and Death from above on Veteran. We then are back playing as Jackson and the Marines are to use the tank to clear out enemy resistance in the area. We then just let the tank clear the way for us about time it done something, while I flank around the side to get some easy kills. This mission, however, is a massive kill zone. You get shot from everywhere and anywhere. So I die a few more times here before I'm finally able to push past and clear out another building full of these scumbags. Further on, I use the good old head glitch to kill another heavy gunner on the 2nd floor. After that, we breach the building and make our way to the 2nd floor, where we start firing on more enemies, and it's here where we get to see our tank finally pull his weight and destroy the enemy before they can kill everyone in this room. Thanks, pal. We then board a Chinook, and that ends the mission. We get another trophy for completing the mission. We quickly get briefed on our next objective, and it's to provide support for troops pushing to Al-Assad's palace. In true American fashion, there's no messing around with the number of Chinooks and attack choppers being used here. I then exercise my trigger finger and begin cutting down these retreating rats while destroying any guns on the roofs. We then just start to level this entire area of enemy troops and tanks, allowing our men to land and clear the city. Nearby, we then land the Chinook to help some other Marines who are trapped and need help to exfil, so we fight our way through the streets towards them. We then push into the building site where they are and kill any remaining enemies before I head upstairs. Here I get another trophy for grabbing 15 out of 30 intel collectibles. We then regroup and board the Chinook again. Once back in the air, our attack chopper is shot out of the sky and crash lands nearby. Wow, this feels familiar. So once again, we land and start to clear the streets while pushing towards the crew. I then grab the pilot while being covered and begin sprinting back to the Chinook. While taking way too much damage, the game throw me a bone here and let me stay alive. Well, that was a success.
We have a confirmed nuke.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So Al-Assad knew we would be here and let a nuke off. Well, if you played Modern Warfare 3, you know it was Makarov, but shush. I then get a trophy for completing the mission. Jackson, though, should get a trophy for surviving that chopper crash. As I leave the chopper, I'm surrounded by dead or dying Yanks. Like a scene out of Fallout, all I can do is stare at the mushroom cloud while I wait to be ripped to pieces by the blast. Rip Jackson. Jumping back to Soap and the SAS now, Nikolai gives us intel on where Al-Assad really is, so we have our next mission. So the team has been told that there is multiple safe houses where he could be hiding, so I kick this off with a cheeky noob tube. I then clear the first house with a shotgun and find of course he isn't here. As you can see, I'm quite fond of the grenade launcher, especially on this difficulty. So I use that to kill a few and then enter the building, once again using the grenade launcher point blank to clear this room and then clearing out the rest of the house. It's here where I got caught in a genuine spawn trap by a stupid checkpoint.
I am dead inside.
And this caused several more deaths, but eventually I managed to get away and find myself outside the last house and killed the few remaining inside. This left us with one last place to check, and it was the barn up the hill, so we fought our way up to it, killing the last few enemies guarding the area before I let Price do his thing.
Alive is no good to us dead. Let's go.
Price then starts committing a few war crimes, but they are only war crimes if someone finds out, remember that. Price then answers Al-Assad's phone and then shoots him. This man is on the warpath. It's here where I got 2 more trophies, the first for finishing the mission and the second for beating it on veteran difficulty. We then get a flashback to 15 years ago in Ukraine, where Price and his mentor, Captain Macmillan, are sent to assassinate Zakhaev. Now starts the most iconic mission in all of Call of Duty, all gillied up. This is the ultimate stealth mission, so we begin to work our way towards the objective, and I pick off several guards not paying attention.
You're called Tango down.
We then move on where Macmillan's spidey senses tingle, so we hit the deck. Oh, just our fucking luck. An entire enemy patrol is headed our way. Good thing we leveled up our stealth, but using our suits we are able to crawl on way past without being noticed. We then watch as the captain does his thing.
Oi, Susie, huh?
That's how it's done.
After a bit more sneaking and a lot of patience, we manage to make it to a massive enemy patrol, and Macmillan's reckons we can just walk through it. So we make a run for it, and honestly, how does this man run with the size of his fucking balls, because that plan is crazy. We then make our way under the trucks and begin a slow and steady crawl to the other side. Good thing everyone parked in a line like this. We then make it to the other side where once out I easily dispatch an enemy sniper. Then we push on and finish the mission. This gets us a trophy for not getting detected the entire mission. We then spend a good number of hours up here waiting for our target, and this is probably a record for the longest amount of time camping ever. I then instantly take the shot, but I also shoot a soldier in the truck. This is Makarov, and it's an Easter egg for the remaster. But it gets me a trophy for doing it. We then make a quick getaway out the building while a chopper fires on our position. I then start picking off enemies at range. After this, I get a trophy for killing an enemy with the exploding car. We both then start running through the apartment buildings, but out on the other side we see an attack helicopter, so we both start firing and somehow manage to kill the pilot. But the chopper is crashing straight towards us. Using my brain, I step to the side. But Macmillan trips because he's carrying those massive balls of his, but is lucky not to be cut in half by the blade. So I then grab him to his feet because it's sort of Price's thing to lift people off the ground. We then make our way to the exfil, but have to hold the position until our lift arrives. So I set Macmillan down on his arse while I cover the area in claymores and C4 traps. I then get into a good spot to ambush the arriving soldiers and wipe out the entire squad with ease. I then get a trophy for shooting enemies while they rappel out of a chopper. Our exfil has arrived, so I grab Macmillan and heads towards the Chinook, while getting shot way too many times. Thank goodness for God mode here, but I managed to get him on board the Chinook, and we take off without anything going wrong. I get 2 trophies here, the first for beating the mission, and the second for beating the last 2 missions on veteran. Now back playing as Soap, we are having to hold our ground from a Russian counterattack until our exfil arrives. So me and the lads head down to ambush the enemy. I kick off this ambush by firing RPGs down the hill.
Open fire!
Nice shot, mate.
This gets me a trophy for using the entire weapon cache in the tower. They then smoke the tree line, so we decide to fall back. Straight towards a minigun which I use to cover the retreat. As the Russians push up, I mow them down using the minigun, which allows us even more time to regroup.
You shall not pass!
We fall back again, where it's my job to blow the C4 charges to cover our retreat. So we then are pushed the entire way back towards the barn by enemy tanks and choppers. So I use the javelin to destroy the enemy tanks while the rest of the team fall back. It's at this moment where our exfil should arrive, but they tell us we have to fight our way back down the hill to meet them.
Okay, we are cooked. Yep, we are absolutely cooked, chat. GG.
So me and the boys have roughly 4 minutes to fight our way back down, and on veteran, this was fucking deadly. If I was to show the amount of times I died at this part, this video would be an extra 10 minutes long. But after some luck, I managed to crawl my way up the left flank and into some small cover. It's here where I just Rambo some of the Russians with a P90 and keep pushing down the hill, running into small resistance. I almost die in the forest by some rogue Russians, but I managed to kill them before. After more close calls, I finally managed to get on board with the rest of the team. In our next mission, we decide if we can't kill Zakhaev, we will try capture his son. So the Marines and SAS are teaming up for this one, so we surround an enemy camp, and I kick this attack off by killing the 2 enemy in the watchtower. I then sit back and pick off a few more Russians, while the rest of the team push up, but we manage to clear the enemies here. This is where we put on their uniforms and wait at the checkpoint for Viktor Zakhaev. After getting confirmation that it's him, we open fire on his guards. But this goes tits up as the tower me and Griggs are in gets blown up and falls. I then wake up to see Viktor running for his life. Thank fuck he didn't just shoot me here. So we then start sprinting after him as he sends a dog to slow us down. Once that's dealt with, we push into a small town and find it's crawling with Russian soldiers, so I start to pick some off, when eventually I make a run for the alley with Gaz and Griggs. We manage to get the drop on several Russians here and gun them down while I execute this one still trying to recover unlucky mate. We then clear this area and begin moving forward. The chopper with us then begins to riddle the building with bullets, allowing us to enter without any trouble. Once inside, we have a few close-quarter gunfights. But after that, we get to the roof, where we see Viktor is completely surrounded. Just don't do anything stupid.
No!
Oh, for fuck's sake. We then get 2 trophies, the first for beating the mission, and the second for beating it on veteran. So Viktor's old man isn't too happy about his death, and declares war on the West, and also his own government. So me and the lads head further into Russia to find and kill him. But during our parachute deployment, Griggs manages to get captured. Of course, it's the Yank who fucks this up. So me, Gaz and Price start clearing buildings out looking for Griggs. We then pick off a few armed guards in the area, which makes us believe he is nearby. We then breach a room upstairs, and after taking the guards out, we untie Griggs and carry on with the mission. We then set up C4 to blow, and this shuts down the electric fence, allowing us and Team 2 to enter the facility to find Zakhaev. After entering the facility, we are instantly met by Russian soldiers and start to fight our way through the facility.
Enemy RPGs on the roof!
After clearing out that area, we move on to the next, with more enemies and dogs. So I camp in this corner real quick and get myself a few simple kills. But after going upstairs, I see 2 trucks below full of enemies, so I throw multiple C4 out the window and detonate them, wiping out a squad of Russians. We then move forward to meet up with our sniper team.
Hell is that?
We got a problem here!
Oh fuck, not again. So Zakhaev has decided to launch a nuke.
There's another one!
Oh shit, he's launched 2. Never mind. Well, this makes things interesting. As we find out in the briefing screen, there is 41 million lives at risk here, so me and the lads better find a way to stop this. So we enter the facility, ready to end this threat. No more small battles. This is a war zone with choppers being shot down and tanks on their way. So I gun down several men before using a C4 charge to destroy a tank, allowing us to push towards our objective. We then have some small resistance outside the main area, which I pick off with a sniper. After that, I'm back to blowing up a BTR with another C4. This then allows us to rappel down into the facility to try and stop the nukes. So me, Price and Griggs push down into the facility, where we instantly engage the enemy and start to clear them out, while moving deeper into the base. With only 7 minutes left, I begin to clear another room before flanking around the side to get a few more easy kills. This next part, though, can only be described as the room of death, because all I done was die again and again and again. But eventually, After regaining my composure, I took my time and managed to clear the remaining enemies out, and getting lucky with a panic knife saved me. We then encountered the world's slowest opening door. It was here where I got up, went and made a cup of coffee, and came back, and the door still wasn't opened.
One eternity later.
Once through the door, we breached a wall which led us into the war room, with the way to stop the nuke. We then cleared out the last few enemies. I then got a trophy for collecting the last bit of intel needed. I then managed to type in the codes in Russian, by the way, and this detonated all nuclear missiles in the air, saving the United States from turning into fallout.
We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
We then fought our way out to the remaining trucks so we can drive towards safety, as Russian soldiers will be surrounding our position soon. Then got a trophy for finishing the mission. As you can see, we are being completely surrounded, but all the lads are thinking about is a nice cold beer. So we floor it in an attempt to escape, but are being chased the entire way, so I return fire on multiple enemy trucks. Further down the road, we are still being chased, as an attack helicopter starts chasing us as well, and I fire several RPG missiles to stop it from getting a clear shot on us. But he decides fuck that, and just blows up the bridge while we are crossing it. I then wake up as the bridge is collapsing, and manage to get off just in time, as we hold our position waiting for reinforcements.
This played out.
Useless wanker!
But eventually, me and several other members are incapacitated due to another explosion, so Griggs does his best, and tries drag me to cover, but after returning fire he eventually is killed. R.I.P. pal. We then see Price is heavily injured, and then we watch helplessly as Gaz is executed.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Finally, we get some luck. And with the pass of the century, Price sets me up for an easy triple kill. We then see it was the friendly Russians who saved us about time and the game ends. I then get 3 trophies in a row here. The first for beating the campaign, the second for beating the last mission on Veteran, and the third for beating the entire campaign on Veteran. I then went and finished the mile-high mission on Veteran, and honestly I had to stop the recording because of how long it took me. I'd say well over 90 minutes to beat this mission. So that's what the next trophy was for. I then got the next trophy for killing 3 enemies in a row with a knife. I then got 2 more trophies, the first for destroying a helicopter with an RPG, and the next for destroying all 8 choppers on the mission Heat. I then got the Trophy Weapon Master for getting 1 kill with every weapon and gadget in the game. Yes, I then had to shoot a lot of TVs to get the trophy. Your show sucks. I then got 2 trophies at once. The first one for finishing a mission without reloading, and the second for finishing a mission using only my knife. The next trophy was got by killing 20 dogs with a knife. Sorry to all the dog lovers. I got another trophy for shooting down the chopper on the mission all gillied up. The last trophy I had to get was the best of the best, where you beat the developer's time in the cargo ship run, which is around 14 seconds, I think. So we can just admire that run of me sweating my hardest to get that.
Hit the targets! Position 5, go! Hit the targets! 6, go! Flashbang through the door! Hit.
But that gets me the last main trophy, which is followed by the Platinum Trophy. So everyone that was the Modern Warfare Remastered Platinum Trophy was a fun nostalgia trip playing this game again with updated graphics. Such a brilliant story, which only gets better in the second game, which I will be covering next. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.